Hello and welcome to Dear Love Talk. I am Helena.
And I'm James.
Oh, you almost forgot his name. Yes, we are here to answer every single question you may have. And it couldn't be easier for you to ask your questions. All you need to do is to email us on questions@lovetalkshow.tv.
That's right. We won't answer questions on the state of the economy or what the latest superfood is, but anything to do with relationships, we are here to help you. Okay? Yes. First question says, "Hi guys, I've reached a point where I've had enough. Even though my fiancé and I have always had disagreements, we have reached a point where we lost all respect for each other and we no longer restrain anything we say when we argue. I feel sick at the things I call her and what she calls me, but we are at a stage where we don't even care anymore. I am thinking of ending it all, but I thought I would write in as a last attempt at getting help." I assume that you are saying ending it all in the sense of ending the relationship, not ending it all as your life. I hope I got that right.
Because if you do, please give us a call.
Yes, but let's address this. You can't get away from the fact that couples have disagreements. Mm-hmm. Couples sometimes argue. But here's the thing. There is a line that you can't cross. Once you cross this line, there is no return. For example, if you, in a heated moment, you bring down the level of the things you are saying to the person and you offend them on purpose, you hurt them with certain things you say, you call them names, it becomes like a deliberate war of words. Then you're no longer having a disagreement, an argument. You've crossed the line, and once you cross that line, you can no longer unsay the things you said. This is very dangerous. And this is why, in your particular relationship, I think a lot of damage has been done. And I don't know if you can go back to a point where you can salvage the relationship. Right. My advice for those who are in a situation like this is that when you have a disagreement, an argument, even in that heated moment, think before you say certain things. I mean, after all, this is the person you love. This is the person you love. Elena and I, we don't always agree on everything. But even if we disagree, we've never reached a point where I called her names, where I offended her or questioned her character. That is a line that can never be crossed in a relationship.
And this usually happens when the person is bottling things up. Mm-hmm. It's like you don't talk much, and when you do, you don't talk. You shout, you say things that the other person is like, hold on a second, I didn't know you felt that way. But I have an advice for you, and I believe they are Love Talk Live attendees. Mm-hmm. I would like to invite you both to come and see us personally. Mm-hmm. We always advise couples and singles before the seminar begins at 6 p.m. Mm-hmm. Or you can book an appointment at your convenience, and we will meet, the four of us, and we will talk. I would like to know why. Mm-hmm. What is it that is not going right? What is it? Maybe you argue about very small things, and maybe you think it's the end of your relationship. Mm-hmm. Arguing is something normal when you are in a relationship, because you are two different people. So I would like to know more. If you would like us, if you would like to give us that chance, we would love to talk to you.
But I think it's important also that other people who are watching us now and may be in that situation or close to that situation, remember that there's that imaginary line that you can't cross. Once you cross that line of no respect for the other person, just having complete disregard for what you say to them, then you have a serious problem. So make sure that if you're upset, if you're angry or, hurt at something, even so, no matter what, do not cross that line. Because once you do, there's a huge abyss after that. Okay? Yes, there are words that should never be said in a relationship. So bear that in mind. Next one is for you.
Our next question is from a Love Talk Live attendee. And it says, in your program, I keep hearing about how people found love with people who were nothing like their initial type physically. My question is, should I just completely ignore the looks of the person when looking for my potential partner and just focus on personality? Whew, long question.
She's saying this because I wrote the question. We got the question in and then I typed them, and she usually says that when I type, my questions are a little bit long.
Yeah, he doesn't like to use commas in the question, so it's like...
So
Anyway.
you see, by the way, this is a good point, because usually we say about couples disagreeing, and I disagree. I don't think my questions are long, but Elena says they are.
Yeah.
So we'll just compromise. I have long
Exactly.
sentences, she has short ones, and then we'll meet in the middle.
Well, let me answer your question. If you listen to the whole advice that we give, we say that sometimes, you know, you need to give people, should give people a chance, regardless of what they look like. But there are other things that we say that go with it. But you should, of course, like what you see. For example, if the person has a problem with her teeth or his teeth, they're not so straight, you know, what's the problem? Get to know the person. The person can always fix her teeth. You know, there's things that you can't really, I tell you what you can't change. If the person is Chinese, if the person is Portuguese, you know.
English, whatever.
You know, you don't like the shape of the eyes, but even that, I don't think it's a big deal. But I think it all works together. It's about maturity. It's not just about looks. So for example, when I got to know my husband, someone told me about him before I actually met him personally. But I was like, oh, yeah, I saw a photo of you, but I couldn't really see everything in detail. Like, oh, let me see the color of his eyes. And you were a bit far away from, you know, in the picture. But anyway, I thought to myself, oh, let me just get to know this person. Maybe he's the one. I don't know.
And then on the first day we met, that's it, she was in love.
I liked you. He likes to boast about that a lot. But yes, so I am glad that I gave this relationship a chance, that I went out with him and had coffee and, you know, hello, my name is so-and-so, so what do you do? It doesn't hurt, but of course I like what I see. All right, so I don't know if I can explain this in a better way.
The thing is, you know, people have to, it's important for people to understand that it's true, the physical side is not everything, right? But also you can't put to one side completely the physical side and say, well, this person has an amazing personality, amazing character, they're funny. I really don't like the way, not that you don't like the way they look, but I'm really not attracted to anything in this person in the way they look, but let me get married with them anyway because I like their personality. It doesn't work like that. At the end of the day, when you get married and you sleep with the person, the next day you wake up not next to their personality, you wake up next to their body. So you have to like both. This is very important. So we're not saying, I understand your question, we're not saying you should completely disregard the physical aspects of the person. But what we're saying is, you know, don't just make it about the physical side. Yes. Sometimes the physical is maybe 20% for you, but that personality, that character that is 80% is so important that makes the physical side even more attractive.
And also, look at yourself. I don't know you didn't send a picture of you. Please don't, there's no need. But look at yourself in the mirror. But be very honest with yourself. Are you perfect? Are you, I don't know. Look at yourself and see. So, you know, the other person might not also be perfect. And I tell you what not to do instead of what to do, because that's something we do quite a lot in our seminars, is don't go for a guy who is all, you know, he loves his gym, you know, he waxes himself from top to bottom.
Not that there's anything wrong if you like to wax yourself, it's up to you.
They're going to understand when I finish my sentence. Like, for example, you know, he loves looking after himself, but when he talks, he's very rude, he has no manners, he really puts you down. So that's when you see that that person, you know, although he looks nice, maybe in your eyes, it's not the kind of guy you want to be with, because you see what I mean? So you have to see, you need to weigh things.
So basically, we're saying, don't disregard the physical side, but we're not saying either that it's just a personality that matters. It's a balance of both. Whether it's a 50-50 balance or 60-40 or 70-30, it depends on you. But certainly there has to be the physical aspect as well. Okay? The final question says, I read in a magazine the 8 signs that you are still in love. And I noticed I no longer have most of these in my relationship. I thought we were doing okay, but this article was a wake-up call to how my relationship really is. Should we take a break from each other? No, of course not. And by the way, who invented the 8 signs that you are still in love? Where did this come from?
It's probably a single woman who is single and writes...
Not single woman, single man, whoever, doesn't matter. It's not just women. Do you know what this was? This was someone who was sitting in a coffee shop with too much time in their hands and said, let me make up 8 signs of what it is to be in love, and I'll sell this to a magazine. And then a magazine was short on, or actually had too much space to fill in a page and just took anything to put there. And probably this person who wrote 8 signs that you are still in love never experienced love in their whole life. So please, for the love of God, do not pay any attention to these 8 signs. You were saying that you thought your relationship was really great before you read this article. And maybe your relationship is great. Why all of a sudden should you categorize your relationship as not being great just because that article told you that it wasn't great? Who is that person to say your relationship is not great? Who knows if your relationship is great or not? It's you. So please, do you want a piece of advice? Find that article, smash it up, put it in the bin. If you can safely set fire to it, just don't set fire to your house, okay? And please don't pay attention to that. And we have to say, Elena, before we finish, that what qualifies a person as a relationship expert is not how many degrees they have in relationship therapy and all this kind of stuff. Is if whether that person or that couple have a happy, established, successful relationship.
Solid relationship, exactly.
Do you agree?
Of course.
Great. We agree, you see?
Oh my God, you see.
You can't say fairer than that.
And you don't even know what love means to the person who wrote that article. Anyway, I could go on and on and on forever. I know we don't have much
but we're
time.
Not.
But
we ran
not.
out of time.
Yes, so, okay.
But remember...
Stay away from those gossip magazines.
You know, Elena, this is very important. You cannot decide that your relationship is not good just because someone told you it wasn't. You are the only one who knows how that relationship is.
You know something, I know we don't have time, but let me just say this little something. I always do that, don't I? I was talking to a girl who was dating, you know, a young man, and she came to me very concerned a while back. She came to me very concerned, and she was with her girlfriends. And I said, so what brings you here today? And then she went like, oh, you know, I'm concerned that my relationship is not what I think it is and everything. Because I said, but what makes you think that? Same thing, the friends, you know? And then I said to her, how is your, so she told me everything. Her relationship was pretty, you know, perfect. And I said to her, my darling, many people wish they had what you have. Just stop thinking, stop looking for problems where they don't exist, and be happy. Yeah,
and that's the problem. Sometimes people try to find problems where they don't exist. Sometimes there's a lot of problems to find, but other times, you know, don't let anybody label your relationship.
Exactly.
It's your marriage, it's your, I don't know, how do you call it, engagement, it's your relationship. You fight for it, you make it work, and nobody else should label how your relationship is.
Exactly.
Okay? Remember, you can get in touch with us via our email address. You can send us your questions to questions@lovetalkshow.tv or via Facebook. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's been a pleasure to be with you. Until next time, bye-bye.
Bye.